Hello there, welcome Genesis Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and welcome to this nice little workshop tour. I did sort of rearrange my workshop a couple of months ago, and I know you guys have been asking so many times about so many different things about the workshop, and I just thought I'd show you around. As you can see, we are at an angle that we don't normally see, a little bit behind the scenes. I'm going to start off with sort of camera equipment and software, and then we'll move over to the workshop and have a general look at the tools. I'm going to try and keep this quick because we could be here forever going over all the products. So I'm just going to give a quick rundown. So if you see a product, it's probably going to be, in the Genesis Models website under, say, tutorials or product reviews. Go check it out there. If you don't see it there, just leave a comment somewhere anywhere, get in contact with me, and maybe I could go off and do a video for whatever product it is. But it's a quick rundown. So first off, this is what you don't normally see. This is sort of like the editing side of Genesis Models. Now I know you guys have asked like what software I use and all this stuff, because I know some of you do like to actually go off and make your own little videos of your models, final reveals and all that kind of stuff. In all honesty, I use Power Director, which is, so we say, like a semi-pro bit of software, but I did start off with I think it was Windows or Microsoft video player or something, video editor, real nice free software that comes with it. Again, that was like 10 years ago, so just look around for a nice bit of free software. And then when it comes to computers, most computers will run that because you're probably using one camera angle, but as a bit of advice, once you start getting up to 2, 3, especially 4 camera angles like I do, you do have to go off and sort of get yourself a pretty decent computer, kind of expensive and stuff. I've got different displays and stuff here, so as I can do all the editing, because you need lots of different programs open and all that good stuff. But that is what I use. It's Power Director. It's a good software that I like using. I do have a mic just here, so when I'm sort of recording onto so I don't know, maybe I'm recording the website or something, I do use this mic. It's nothing special actually. I mean, it's quite cheap. It's a Pulse PLS00546. To be honest with you, it's okay. I wouldn't mind sort of upgrading that. And then, as you maybe sort of see around here, we see all the cameras and stuff, which we'll go over them, stuff that I'm working on, all the products. So let's move around. So as we move around the workshop and we get different camera angles that you don't normally see, we'll sort of start to see a few things that are going on around here. Lighting just here, actually quite interestingly, is it is like for photography and stuff, but when it comes to scale modeling, you can't beat the price and the the brightness you get out of sort of photography style type lighting. I do recommend, I mean, I think these, I picked them up off eBay, just a couple of quid. They're not that expensive, but they really do light up. And when it comes to scale modeling, you really want your area lit up. So I've got a couple of these just dotted here around and around. As we move along, yeah, a bit of first aid and blankets and all this stuff. What you don't normally see is all these ammo and AK type paints, right? It's a nice sort of shelving system that Ammo does. You can buy it from Ammo, and you can really get a lot of paints on here. And I bought quite a few of them, so as I can get all my paints on there. What you probably don't also see is the top cam and mic that we have here. This top camera, by the way, I mean, most of the cameras that I use, if you're after a camera, Panasonic, the Full HD HC-V700, right? This was the first camera I ever bought. It was like 10 years ago. It was so good that I've gone off and I've bought like 4 of them, and they really do the job really well. Had no problem. I beat the hell out of these every day for the past 10 years. Had no problems at all with them. I like to use a shotgun mic, which, do you know what, I don't know about you, but I've had no complaints about things like the sound and whatnot with my newest videos. And this cheap shotgun mic for about £15 does the job. Just, it's not really branded, it's just on eBay. And as you can see, we have our camera angles here. We've got the top cam, face cam, we've got sort of like, I'll call this the backup cam if ever I go off camera, and then we have the main camera just here. This one's also in 4K. I do get asked this question a lot as well, and that is, you know, what is this camera mounted on? The amount of people that ask me that, which you know, it's because it is a bit of a bish bosh that I put together. I do believe this is a mic stand that we have here, simple mic stand. But what I did was I went off and I broke off a normal camera stand, one of these, and I've sort of attached it with sort of like a bit of rubber to sort of get it to go on there. So basically it's the head of a camera, and it's the rest of the body is just basically a mic stand, and that's the way I did it. It allows me to sort of get this unique angle that I couldn't do with this without, so it can sort of come out and not sort of have a stand in the way. It kind of brings the camera out. So let's move around some more of the scale modeling stuff. So just here, this is where I have all my airbrushes, which, you know, I like Harder and Sternbeck personally. I do have a Water, but I don't normally sort of rate them, to be fair myself. Nice little stand here as well. I've had this for years. Just a nice way of sort of spraying all your sort of leftover paint somewhere where it'll soak up inside and you won't get loads of spray going everywhere. You know, my regulators here. Over here, this is where, you know, all my sort of paint brushes are. You know, Winsor & Newton, I do recommend them. You know, you got your palettes, gloves that don't have powder in them, right? We don't want the powder ones because they go over your model. A couple of little bits and bobs. All the paints that you see at the back of here, I mean, we've got the, what is it, the Mr. Colour range, we've got Akan, we've got Tamiya, you know, we've got Ammo up here. This is all the weathering products. We've got Humbrol tins, enamels. Going along here, we then have Vallejo, and then we have the Citadel paints for doing stuff like miniature paints. I know that's quickly going over them, but you know, just all my videos sort of show them in step by steps and whatnot. But if you really want to, as I say, if you want to sort of know something, check out Genesis Models website, or send me a bell and I'll do a review on them. We also have all our oils just here at Tiltlung. We have Winsor & Newton. I do really rate Winsor & Newton products because they're a really good high quality manufacturer of art supplies, but some of their stuff do cross over into scale modeling. And do you know what, they're almost cheaper and you get more for your money, and they're a really good quality product. Just, you know, sometimes scale modeling can be, you know, they do put a hefty price tag on some things. Also got the oil brushes as well. These are by Ammo. These ones are really cool. They're basically the same thing, it's just a way of applying it in a sort of more convenient and easy way. What we got just in here, this is sort of like my mishmash of got sort of in this drawer down here, just, you know, things like Pledge, spinners, all sorts, paintbrush sets, scratch building, nothing major to write home about. But as we sort of move along this way, so just bring you out on a wider angle just here, right? As we sort of move along, we've got all my sort of you know, kind of like primers, thinners, all that kind of like glosses and mattes and stuff. Coming around here, we do have our extractor fan here. I brought this from everythingairbrush.com. Really good extractor fan what we have here. It's about £250. I think it's gone up in price since then, and it has sort of changed, so there's no point me trying to let you know what it is, but really good extractor fan. On extractor fans up in the ceiling, which you won't be able to see, I do have a built-in extractor fan, which it's a lot cheaper and you get more for your money. I know these nicely built contained extractor fans They are good, right, but they do cost quite a bit. But if you, I don't know, maybe know an electrician or something, you can get some nice industrial grade type extractor fans. I know I've put mine in the ceiling. Cost me about £70, and it's way more powerful than what we have here. I know it's kind of like, you know, fitting it and everything, but it really does get some nice general all-round extraction of sort of all your spraying and all that kind of stuff. Nice little lighting system here as well. Sesto does, if you go to the Sesto website, they do stuff like this, and a lot of people ask about it. You know, as I say, these kind of lights, they're nice, they're cheap, they light up everything, but just the arm really, which is the best thing. I mean, you can maneuver this about however you want, get it where you want, and it is good in that sense. But yeah, this is my sort of my air spray area, my spray booth area, and then up here is the kind of the kits that I'm working on, which, you know, I'm working on at the moment. The Phantom, the Avenger, and all that. Then we have all our drawers down here, which is a little bit tricky to get you on camera for. So because it's a bit tricky, I'm actually going to play cameraman. These are my drawers full of all these kind of tools. You know, again, there's so much to go through with all this. Maybe you want to take a still picture or pause or something. You know, again, if there's something you want to see, it'll be on the Genesis Models website, or I can go off and do a video for it. But if we move along, you know, I've got all my different sort of scissors, cutters, tweezers, spatulas. Oh, that is a nice tool, the photo etch scissors. They're pretty good. All sorts of junk in this one, you know, sort of like clamps and pegs. Right, a few sort of loose bits, some easy line, really good to get your hands on that kind of stuff. We've got all the sort of Mr. Surface stuff at the back. Good old, you know, plastic putty by Vallejo, definitely a good one to get. Panzer putty as well, that's also a good one. Box of sort of O-rings as well, that's good for bombs and all that goody stuff. Moving along, this is sort of like a drawer full of all sorts of different glues, super glues, you know, good old, oh, that's AK's Extreme Cement stuff. There should be some Tamiya Extreme Cement in here. Normal PVA glue, you know, Zap Kicker, or, you know, the good old Vital Bond for getting glue to super glue to bond. Liquid masks, you know, I mean, it's just all sorts that I've just collected over the years, right? And in the bottom drawer is just full of sanding sticks. As you can see, it's a bit of a mess, but I know where everything is still. Polishing compounds, your core beat them, lots of different sanding sticks and blades, absolutely all sorts of sanding stuff going on in there, and as you can see, a right mess. So we move along to our second lot of drawers, right, which, you know, screwdrivers, always good to have a couple of them around. Nice big saw here, what's that, the big Tamiya saw, that's good for shipbuilding. Metal ruler, you know, always good to have one of them as well. Nice set of the Series 7 paintbrushes that I still haven't used, all of them, to be fair. They are really, really cool. Second drawer we have here, let's move that out of the way. Yeah, good old Tamiya masking tapes. This one's a good one if you want to cover up all your model. A paint stirrer. Right, it's always good to have a lighter as well, you might want to burn some stuff. All these sort of, you know, nice thin sort of jammy dog tapes and all that good stuff. T-squares can always be good. These are good as well, these Micron pens. They're good for doing sort of like kind of representing some sort of drawing or writing on some really fine stuff. That can be really good in that sense, and painting eyes as well. A few spare sort of bits for the airbrush. Ooh. And then there's my single action just there. Moving along, this is I know this looks a mess, but I know where everything is, trust me. All sorts of scratch building stuff here, you know, all the foam that you get from your aftermarket parts, good for doing all sorts of, you know, scratches and that cool stuff. We've got a digital caliper just here. all sorts of sort of grass and diorama stuff. Yeah, it's basically all diorama and scratch building and wires. You know, even like lead pellets that you have for an air rifle, you know, good for weighing down any sort of, to stop any tail sitters or anything like that. Moving along, now this is like my drawer of all sorts of concoctions, right? You know, we've got varnishes, glazes, right? We've got all sorts of sort of thinners, gravel sand and gravel glue, good old fluid retarder, you know, maybe some oil as well, Gauzy agent. Again, just thinners of all different sorts of manufacturers. We have some, I think that's paint remover, right? Winsor & Newton, again, you know, linseed oils, and all these different sort of, as I say, concoctions, different oils. What's that? Oh, that's a nice lifting preparation. I might have to do one on that. Some distilled turpentine, all sorts of goodies in those drawers. So there you have it, a really quick sort of run around the workshop, just to kind of show you angles that you don't normally see and sort of things you don't normally see. I know I could have just gone on and on and on and on forever about each and every individual product, but again, you know, if there's something you want to see, just give me a comment, give me a bell, and I'll probably do a product review or maybe a tutorial on it so you can have a bit more in depth about it. But you've had a general sort of look around of the workshop, and hopefully that's answered a few questions, and maybe sort of open up some new questions to do in later videos. But apart from that, hopefully you have enjoyed. So I'll see you again here and around Genesis Models, but as always, I'll catch you later. Thank you.